Hello and welcome to an unexpected first look for out of spec of the Cadillac Optiq V. Probably the V that I would buy of Cadillac's entire EV lineup. Which isn't saying much because there's really only two V options at this point. Looking for your chance to drive off in a brand new electric vehicle and support a nonprofit? Well, one of the best nonprofits fighting for clean energy is running their 7th annual EV raffle for the planet, and it's their biggest yet. Here are 3 reasons why you should buy a ticket today to support our friends at the CCAN Action Fund. Number 1, amazing odds. For the first time, each ticket gives you 3 chances to win an electric car. Even better, only 10,000 tickets will be sold. Those are great odds. Reason number 2, the prizes are stunning. The grand prize winner gets to pick from 6 luxury EVs. The rugged R1S, the powerful R1T, the brand new Lucid Gravity, the sleek Lucid Air, the bold Porsche Macan EV, or the iconic Porsche Taycan. Yeah, and those are all great cars, and again, you get to pick which one. The second place winner gets to choose from a Volkswagen ID Buzz or a Hyundai Ioniq 5. And there's a third place winner, a Chevy Equinox EV. Even better, the group will cover state and federal taxes. Oh, but what about tariffs? Well, no problem, they cover those too. Reason number 3, the CCAN Action Fund supports clean energy nationwide. So you could win a great EV and support a greener world. Really is kind of a win-win. To enter, check out www.evraffle.org. That's evraffle.org, or simply click the link in the description below. Tickets are only $200. Enter to win today. So this Optiq V is basically the closest you can get to a hot hatchback of Cadillac's EV lineup. Optiq, Lyriq, Vistiq, Escalade, Iq, Celestiq. It's a lot of Iqs happening there. But this one is one that I've really enjoyed covering. I went to the Optiq First Drive event before they ever announced a V, but we kind of knew it was coming. See, V is Cadillac's like heritage, legacy, almost racing. It's like their performance line. Think their version of AMG or BMW M or other similar performance-y things. This is worthy of the V badge, supposedly. Now, today, unfortunately, I cannot drive it, so you'll expect a lot more coverage of this coming on Out of Spec eventually. Actual driving, charging, more testing of the Optiq is definitely coming because I am very curious about this car as a whole because I think it's the most affordable Cadillac EV, and I tend to like small cars, so this suits me the most. I say unexpected because, well, I'm here in Tacoma, Washington for the Cadillac Lyriq V, which I cannot show you anything about. I can't talk about it. There's an embargo on that comes in a few days, but I wasn't expecting to see this here. I didn't know it was gonna be here. So this is a very unexpected, like I said, first look. But I'm gonna give you guys a quick full tour of the exterior, and we can talk about, well, everything we know about it, just no driving, I guess, no driving impressions. But notably, I believe this is the first Cadillac with NACS. This right here should be the thumbnail. That's a big deal. I'm driving these Lyriq Vs today, and it's a 2026 model with no NACS. That's crazy. Anyways, this thing, like I said, is sick. I like small vehicles. I like dynamics of smaller vehicles. I like lighter weight vehicles. But this shares a lot of things with the Lyriq V. We do know a lot of the specs of the Lyriq that are public info, so I can share some things. But for example, this has power. Like I said, Cadillac V is important because, well, Cadillac's getting into F1 this year, or next year for the 2026 season. And so that's important because a lot of racing teams for various brands produce technology that then trickles down into the consumer cars. And in Cadillac's case, maybe the V stuff. Cadillac's been doing a lot of racing and other programs for years. And then they make, the Cadillac CTS V wagon, the CTS V sedan manual, like the CT4, I forget all their nomenclature, but all I have to say, Cadillac makes some spicy V things, and that's really cool to see. So I'm glad to see that move over into the EV space. So like I said, let's start with the specs. This has GM's, you're hearing tires squeal in the background maybe, depending on how well the noise cancellation works. This has GM's 10 module, I'm still gonna call it Ultium battery pack. I think they kind of stopped using that word, but I still like it, it's a cool word. So 85 kilowatt hours, roughly usable. The normal Optiq gets 303 miles of range at the most, which is on one hand not like class leading, but also I think 300 is that number we've basically settled on as a society of like, that's what EVs need to have. Now this one being the sporty model, the V, you're gonna have 275 miles. So a bit less, but not crazy less. Like we're not talking the range cut that we saw with like Ioniq 5N or EV6 GT, where the range was drastically cut by the sporty bits. This one, 275, I think that's plenty. Also features a 48 amp onboard charger. I believe 80 amp is available, so you can charge it up to like 19 kilowatts. At standard for sure, 11.2 kilowatts, which is plenty good for an 85 kilowatt hour battery pack. And spicy powertrain. I'm assuming, they haven't confirmed this with me, but I'm assuming it's the Lyriq V motors, also the Vistiq motors. So you're talking 650 pound-feet of torque through the all-wheel drive dual motor system. Same exact torque as Lyriq V, same exact torque as the Vistiq. What's detuned, I guess, is the horsepower. Instead of the 615 horsepower of the Lyriq V and the Vistiq, it's 519 horsepower. So about 100 horsepower less, but the same amount of torque, instantaneous, impressive torque. So again, I can't wait to drive this and try it out. Otherwise, let's look at the exterior and take in what are the V bits. First of all, standard summer tires. Super sick. What did they choose here? Sport Contact 6 by Continental. Jason Finsky will love to hear that. Brembo 6-piston brakes on the front, which are really cool. They're in this dark blue color. I don't know all the color combos you get, but I'm guessing being a V car, it'll actually be two-tone on all the different V options. I don't even think you can get like all one color. It's like always a black roof or something like that. 275, 40, 21. So it's a square setup, I believe. 21-inch wheels. That's probably the only way you can get it. And I'm guessing you can option an all-season tire in the exact same dimension. So Optiq V, that's the wheel test setup. They might have other wheels. It's hard to say with this early first look before they do the first drives for the media because, well, I don't know all the options. I don't have the configurator specs, but at some point the configurator will be live and I'll check it out. Be really curious to see. I can see even from the outside here, a huge heads-up display, which is interesting because I was just spending time with the Escalade IQ, which had a much smaller heads-up display. Being a bigger car, that's a little awkward, I think. Otherwise, yeah, looks Optiq. What you have here is the light-up grille, which we've seen on, well, pretty much every Cadillac EV at this point, but notably kind of a V shape here, and that's pretty normal with all the V options. Carbon fiber splitter right here. That's going to add a little bit of presence, I guess, makes it look a little bit more sporty. Also reduces your approach angle, but I'm not sure who's really counting that. Let's see. Also, what's interesting is I believe this is actually black on the normal one. I can't actually remember now. I need to look at the Optiq again. It's been a little bit, but on the Lyriq V over there, you can see, which I'm not spoiling anything because, well, there's photos of it on the internet already, but the Lyriq V has body color down here, whereas normally it's, I think, blacked out. The Lyriq, I think, has more stuff below, whereas this does not. There's no carbon fiber splitter situation down the side there. That would have been a cool touch, but look at this. Carbon fiber spoiler sticking out of the back. That's pretty rad. And then a carbon fiber diffuser that looks mean, looks the business. So I really do like the overall body design stuff of this. Like, it does look a little sporty, but not like overly aggressive. You don't have a crazy Mustang Mach-E rally wing coming off the back here, which, I mean, that would have been cool too, I guess. Maybe they'll make a rally version of these one time, which I would be down for. Like, give me smaller wheels, bigger, chunkier tires, an inch lift, more rally aggressive stuff, mud flaps. That'd be sick. But otherwise, that's pretty much what you're looking at there. So very much normal Optiq other than that. And of course you have the infamous V badge, which is this finally, I guess, worthy of having the badge. They're very proud of this badge, by the way. Another V badge on this side. Normal Cadillac badge right here. The price, by the way, $69,000. Nice. That's over $10,000 cheaper than the Lyriq V, which is another reason why I'd pick this over the Lyriq. Like, this is hot hatch, but also luxury. So it's hard to say exactly how that falls into the category. Like, it's going to be more upscale, or at least they're attempting to be more upscale than Model Y. Model Y performance of the new generation has not come out yet, We'll see how that stacks up against this. That could maybe slot between Lyriq and Optiq as far as size, but I don't know. They're just different vehicles. I don't know how many people are cross-shopping Cadillac versus Tesla. I'd be really curious if you guys know someone or you are yourself. I just hear chirping tires in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the exterior. Looks normal Optiq, but better. The Optiq had a very sloped glass in the back, always has since it was out, and I didn't always love that, but this spoiler helps break that up just enough in a way that I like. And it's also the most sloped windshield that Cadillac's ever done on EV, as far as I know. And yeah, I think it's fine. So Naxport, huge deal. Still not sure why this is the only one that has it. And then we'll see if we can get in and see what's different in here. V on the floor mats, V in the seats. This is sick. I just love Cadillac vehicles overall. Like, there's just something about them that is like this American ethos of like, wow, this thing is sick. Oh, hopefully you can hear that. They haven't figured that out yet. Again, this is actually pre-production, so they're probably going to be like, oh, don't, you know, critique the interior materials fit and finish yet. But I've seen many customer cars with this same issue in the center console where it just doesn't feel like you start touching things and it like gets a little creaky, but it looks nice, looks premium, and I think is pretty sweet. Did they leave the key in here? Not really sure, but phone charger right there, which is nice. It'll hold your phone steady when you're sliding around an autocross course in your Cadillac Optiq V. Okay, the key's not in here, so I can't actually show you the software, but it's the same software, as far as I can tell, that's on like updated Lyriq, which I think shows state of charge. I'm not sure. I'll have to like hopefully do a software deep dive at some point, but that's been an issue for a long time. People have complained about Lyriq, and even when I drove the Optiq, no state of charge on the display unless you were maybe in one certain menu or you ask Google. Like, there's ways around it, but like it's still not really ideal. Maybe that's changed now. We'll see. No start stop button, but normal, you know, GM shifter situation where it does that. Can't really drive it because there's no key. Can't do anything in here. Yeah, dang, I can't show you the software. Oh well. Physical buttons for the climate. Love that. That's awesome. I really didn't like the screen that was here in the Escalade IQ that we've been testing recently. Digital rearview mirror, currently off, but that's where it would be. And yes, this V mode unlocks, well, what is a new type of mode for this car. So velocity max is, you know, max acceleration. Even the Vistic has that. Non-V cars can have the velocity max mode. But what the V car really unlocks is the competitive mode, which gives you more control over driving dynamics, fine-tuning the suspension. And I'm guessing the suspension in this would be a little bit different. So probably taking cues from other cars, probably different anti-roll bars, improved, probably stiffer spring geometry and suspension geometry, probably a level of like brake-based torque vectoring that allows you to do more rear-wheel drive, even drifting. Not rear-wheel drive drifting, but it like changes the dynamics to prevent understeer. So it promotes oversteer with this competitive mode. Also gives you launch mode, which is really cool. So this thing should genuinely rip. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds is what they're claiming, which is crazy stupid fast. That's right in line with the old Model Y performance. So really curious what Tesla will do with the new one, but the old one so far, I mean, that's been a staple of performance. I don't want to say staple. It's not the best performance car. Like Model 3 performance, killer. Model Y performance, I don't know. It's basically Model Y that just goes a little faster. Didn't feel like special. This thing actually is tuned dynamically to actually do some fun performance driving, which is just kind of silly if you think about it. This is like a nice, comfortable cruiser. You can go get your coffee with your massage, heated, cooled seats on. Not heated and cooled at the same time. That'd be nice, but that's not how it works. And then, yeah, also drift around the parking lot like it's autocross or something. So that's cool that you can kind of do everything. That's kind of what they're intending to do. So I just don't know if it's meant to be like the most direct track weapon. They're not going to go set some Nürburgring records or anything with this, but it's a level up in performance for what is otherwise a really comfortable daily driver. So normal Optiq stuff, you guys can check out my other Optiq video if you want to see more of how some of the other things are done, like the software. We talked to some of the designers on various episodes I've done with the Optiq. So just search out of spec Optiq if you want to see some recent stuff that's more Optiq generic. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick look performance-wise on, well, performance talk-wise on the Optiq V, because I'm just so thrilled that this thing exists. Optiq was also the first vehicle to have the Dolby Atmos. So this has, I think, 19 speaker Dolby Atmos AKG system. Fantastic. Here's the thing, numbers don't tell you everything. So, for example, Cadillac Escalade IQ, 40 speaker AKG. That's more than twice as many speakers as this. Not as good as this. It's good, but like this is really tuned perfectly for the car. It's a 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos system. Still no Dolby Atmos in Escalade IQ. That's coming. That's going to change. 2026 model year is the year for all of Cadillac to get Dolby Atmos in all their cars. I'm really excited about that as an audio person. What I'm not so excited about is the fact that you can't use Apple Music, and so I'm hoping that changes at some point. I don't know if that's, again, Cadillac or Dolby or Google, like whoever's controlling that limitation needs to just like stop it, because I know all the Spotify people are like, oh, you're a loser, including all my colleagues out of spec. They all make fun of me, but I prefer Apple Music, and Apple Music supports Dolby Atmos. Spotify doesn't. Take that, you Spotifyans. So I'm looking forward to that changing, but in the meantime, I believe Amazon Music and Tidal both support Dolby Atmos right now for your Optiq. So if you have a Cadillac dealer near you, I'd probably recommend going to check out the Optiq. Give the sound system a test because it's such a nice sound system. I love sitting in this thing, getting a massage, listening to music. It's a really nice experience. Jump in the back just to remind you guys what that's like and how honestly impressive the room is. Like, I have so much leg room. I have not so much headroom. This has the same issue a lot of Cadillacs have of the glass roof coming back almost enough to benefit headroom, but not quite. Well, it ends right here rather than where behind the seat. So that would have been cool. By the way, look at these seats. I think maybe these are performance seats. If they're taking notes from other performance trims that I can't necessarily talk about yet, the bolstering is going to be more aggressive in this car as well. So that's cool. Adjustable bolsters, I'm guessing. We'll see if that's true. I can't like change any of that stuff right now with the car being off, but that's supposedly going to be a thing. And those bolsters are important to keep you more planted in your seat as you're taking aggressive turns in mountain roads or Starbucks parking lots. But I really love this view back here, and just sitting there reminds me how much I like this screen setup more than the Escalade IQ. The Escalade IQ is a screen that goes all the way across. It makes the middle really hard to reach as a driver, whereas this one's angled closer to the driver, which helps, well, the driver a lot to reach it and stuff. Yeah, so really freaking cool. I don't know what's going to happen with 2026 model year as far as the Lyriq, if any of those will get NACS, but I don't know of that for sure. We'll have to see, but that's just, this is so cool. A Cadillac with a NACS port. That's awesome. As per usual, no front trunk to speak of. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Seems like the community is divided, but the rear trunk, pretty decent storage space, I would say. Most people would be pretty happy with it. Some cubbies on the side. You can see the subwoofer right there for the 19th speaker. I think it was 19 plus sub. Wait, 19 including sub? I don't remember which way. Not much for a sub trunk, but this little cubby is kind of nice right there. Probably EVSE, I'm guessing. And dual giant tow hooks. That is aggressive. Anyways, okay, that's what we're looking at. We got the 12 volt thing right there. No power outlet right there, but there is a power outlet right up there. I didn't show you that earlier, but second row has access to a household type power outlet, which is nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Really do dig this thing. I'm curious how people feel about these strakes in the glass. This is, you know, design element introduced with Optiq and Vistiq. Both of them have this. The Lyriq and Escalade IQ and even Celestiq don't have this. I don't think I like it, other than the fact that it helps me quickly recognize which car is which. So that's helpful as a journalist or as a car person, but I don't know if I'm torn. super torn. Let me know how you guys feel about the strakes in the glass. They probably have a word for it, I just forgot, but you can go watch my design video that I talked to the designer who worked on both Optiq and Vistiq that worked on implementing that. Really cool designer. I like the people who work at Cadillac, engineers, designers, all really nice people, and they do things mostly right. Design's subjective though, so who am I to say? But anyways, that's kind of a first look at the Cadillac Optiq V. Again, very brief initial, can't even show you the full software. A lot more content hopefully to come with this thing because, well, this is probably my personal favorite because of the size. I do slightly prefer the really cool, unique taillight design that the Lyriq has. Like, I like its rear end. It looks really, really cool. But like I said, the Optiq presence is helped a little bit with this spoiler. Carbon fiber, feels nice, looks pretty nice. You have this like F1 looking center brake light in the back, the diffuser, the front splitter, it all works nicely. I feel like that could have had a little strip of carbon fiber, but maybe that would have been too much. I'm not sure. But yeah, headlines, I don't know. Optiq V, over 500 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, summer tires, Brembo brakes. This thing guaranteed a ripper. I just don't know exactly how well it rips yet. But stay tuned. Thanks for watching.